Hey everyone, my name is Austin Burns. I'm here from the Intrepid Collective, and I'm here today to talk about sacred geometry. Now, I know most of you guys at home are thinking, sacred geometry, what is that? I mean, I've heard of geometry, we studied that in like 3rd grade. What's the difference? What's sacred geometry? Who knows? Well, I'm here today to explain what is sacred geometry. Essentially, our universe, as we talked about in the last video, has been shown to be all frequencies according to quantum physics. When everything is broken down past the atoms, the protons, the neutrons, the quarks, you get to a frequency. Now, it's actually been known that everything in existence is geometry, essentially. So when you break it down, you see on let's take for instance, the periodic table of elements, you see that everything is made up of what's called the 5 Platonic solids. Now that's going to come into effect when we start talking about a sacred geometry shape where everything originates from, and I actually have some pictures here today to help demonstrate the topic. And so we'll take a look at the flower of life. Everybody see that one right there? So this is the flower of life. As you guys can tell, this is actually made up of a bunch of circles, but it's actually drawn with you can see a circle right there, circle, 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 and it goes around. And actually this shape could be repeated infinitely outwards, and this shape is found in a lot of ancient cultures, such as ancient Greece, ancient Mesopotamia, ancient Egypt, quite a few. On the tombs and such like that. Well, this shape actually gives us the basis of life, essentially. It breaks down into the entire periodic table of elements, the entire music scales as we know it. Breaks down into a lot of things. It's really actually quite an interesting shape because if you actually take the circles out of the shape, you get this sweet shape here called the fruit of life. Now, the fruit of life here is actually out of the flower of life, but as you can see, we took out some of the circles, and so we just made this shape here. Now, this shape here is really important because if you connect the middle here and you connect all these lines in, and you draw the dots and connect between the circles, you actually make what's called Metatron's cube. Now check that out, Metatron's cube, really interesting shape there, because Metatron's cube actually gives us the basis for the 5 Platonic solids. Now, the 5 Platonic solids, if you break down the periodic table of elements to the molecular level, you can see from the structure they're actually made up of the 5 Platonic solids, is what these shapes are called. And so the Metatron's cube actually gives us the basis for all 5 Platonic solids. So what this shape has actually shown us is that the entire periodic table, everything in existence, can be broken down from this shape right here. This shape is what gives us the basis of our entire existence today, so as we know it. Now, that's pretty insane, and I know that's a pretty big concept to kind of grasp onto, but there's a lot of research that's being done now to kind of figure out what these shapes mean, and it's been seen a lot in the they've been drawing grids, what's called a consciousness grid, that is around the hemisphere of the Earth, and this consciousness grid is actually in the shape of these sacred geometric forms. So things such as the pyramids, the Aztec pyramids, Stonehenge, stuff like that, they've actually mapped it out on a huge globe and actually seen that they correspond in these shapes from all stemming from the flower of life. So that's our little thing on sacred geometry today. Hope you guys had a great time watching. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the Intrepid Collective. We have these sweet healing crystal necklaces. So as always, you guys have a great day. Namaste.